Live from downtown Moorabbin and in association with Aldo's Men's Hair Outfitters, it's the 2015 Gary Comedy Awards. Good evening, my name is Jed Cogley and welcome to the Garys, awards for excellence in the field of not being too excellent. Professor Charles Darwin, who wrote the original Species movie, wrote of the Garys as such. My actions were not of much. 'Twas I who was scoffed and mocked, and diddled about as such. But nay, do I wonder and tarry, for it was I who took it up the Gary. His words ring true more than 300 X amount of years later, as we pay tribute to those shows, those moments, those special occasions that somehow had their comedic breaks cut and slammed into the rubber brick wall of comedic hurt. For comedy equals tragedy. Welcome to the Garys. And a big thank you to the Gary House Band. Most performers deserve a decent amount of respect just for getting up on stage during the festival in the first place. Not all members of the public see it that way. There is that certain element that feel the need to yell out or disrupt a performance in progress. These hecklers, or dickheads as they're known, drunk though they may be, feel that they're helping out a performance in some way. Oh, you'll hear the classics, show us your tits, get a real job, you're shit, say something funny, when does the comedy start? I've heard them all yelled at me. Our first Gary this morning is for audience participation, and the nominees are Sarah Jones and Nicholas Johnson in Jonestown. During a montage scene, referenced as a montage scene, someone yelled out, "What's a montage?" Stuart Walker in A Hard Day's Night of Beatles parodies. While singing a parody of The Two of Us, someone yelled out, "You ruined that song for me." That's the point, isn't it? George Zak in Greek Tragedy. A couple started arguing that Greek people were the dominant species and the purest blood on Earth, and that they don't believe in DNA. Have they seen Jurassic Park? Angus Hodge in Slow Death of the Spirit Animal. The guy silently eating dim sims that forced 8 people from the venue, which had to be sprayed while he was still performing. Mick Nevin and guests at the Exford after party. Hey, the guy who sat up the front and for a solid hour and 20 minutes checked his phone. Oh, hello? No, it's just for comedic effect. It's not even working. Okay. Buzz! Old joke. Russell Wigington in 100% Nuts. Someone yelled out, "Show me a Venn diagram." Show us your nuts. And the winner is Angus Hodge being heckled by Dim Sims. Congratulations. And now on to the Gary for Best Poster or Publicity Shot that will be used in the coming months, not just as lining, say, for a rabbit hutch, but also as landfill. And just a warning, just like the photo we're about to see now, some of these are difficult to look at. And the nominees are Anne Edmonds, Dan Davidich, Emma J. Hawkins, Dave Tulk and Sean Bedlam, Pauline Sherlock, Miss Itchy, Lee Namo, Smokey, Dean Akrui, Nellie White, and Will Sylvince. And the winner of That It Hurts My Eyes to Look at a Gary is Dave Tulk and Sean Bedlam for their poster, Two Bearded Ladies. Oh, you want to look away, but you just can't! Best Star Wars themed show this year was fought out between only 2 shows. Steel Wars, the podcast by Steel Saunders, and Jed and Jamie's Cockbag Ye Oldie Star Wars. And the winner is, by a no surprise, how on earth could this possibly be rigged margin, is Ye Oldie Star Wars, Jed and Jamie. Congratulations, hope to both see you in that cameo in the upcoming Star Wars film. With over 500 shows in this year's festival, an astounding 50, only 50 were reviewed by professional critics this year. So, although not all the dross was able to rise to the surface, the following received their fair share of brown boot to the teeth. And before we start, however, one does feel a bit sorry for the critics these days, as each seemingly negative review that they give out is met with a knee-jerk defensive reaction from some of the comics on the social media, explaining in detail why the critic is wrong and please come and like my show. The Herald Sun coming in for a healthy serve, with one comic threatening extreme violence not just on the building but the staff itself, and another comic starting up an online campaign to ban the Herald Sun from attending any further comedy festival shows. Yet why comedians are so concerned with this newspaper that is written by special needs adults with crayons is beyond me. Why would you want anybody that reads this toilet paper coming to your show in the first place? And that's my 20 cents worth. I'm still subscribed, don't I? Yeah? I want the 2-ply edition you can get. Yeah. Alright. Now on to the reviewer's choice Garys. Ross Noble in Tangentleman. Tedium abounds, as a couple of minutes of decent material is stretched far beyond breaking point thanks to endless repetition, unfunny mugging, and his patented impression of a confused audience member that is indulged in approximately 296 times. Claire Sullivan in Space Cadet. There aren't any jokes. The laughs are few and far between, and it's a shame because she does try. Jimmy James Eaton, Jimmy versus Jimmy. Jimmy would be a fun guy to meet at a party, but if you're after big laughs at a comedy show, you might want to give Jimmy versus Jimmy a miss. Sean Bedlam, Dave Tolk in Two-Bearded Ladies. There's little to recommend this show beyond Bedlam's remarkable beard. Essentially, two stand-ups sharing the bill, a shambolic test of patience. Together, this comedy odd couple bring plenty of energy to the show, but nothing that made me crack a smile. Steen Raskopoulos, character assassin. Excruciatingly woeful, difficult to understand. The premise was that he was a priest and sang a sermon. It felt like it went for hours rather than minutes. Ooh. Tony Law, enter the tone zone. Not amused, awkward to watch. Miss Itchy's Lazy Susan. A shambolic, flaccid, offensive mess. Blake Mitchell. High Noon at Yum Yum Mountain. Desperately unpleasant. An hour of confusing, disconcerting, and intimidating physical comedy, taking audience participation into the realm of bullying, done without charm or humour. And the winner of the reviewer's choice Gary is Melbourne's only identical twin teenage bridesmaids, Miss Itchy. And now the moment you've all assembled around a steaming hot computer screen for the prestigious Brown Gary. And just a word, many of the Brown Gary winners in the past have gone on to achieve nothing. And the nominees for this year's Brown Gary, the ones that took it up the proverbial Gary, are Miss Itchy, Dave Tolk and Sean Bedlam, the Herald Sun, the Exford Hotel After Party, that guy who hangs around the hi-fi bar late at night asking for spare change. And the winner of the 2015 Brown Gary Award, and I don't mean to get emotional, and I won't, is the Herald Sun for their brilliant article outlining once and for all who were the best and worst of this year's festival. Not just putting in the critical boot once to shows they felt deserved no audience, but over and over again, just so we get all reminded about what they really thought.
No one defies the great Titan and the mighty fish god Teufel.
Congratulations, the Brown Gary will be winging its way to you shortly. Thank you for joining me on this most prestigious of awards nights. Congratulations to all the winners who were losers. And if I might just finish with a